Welcome to Hat Hole Home Video. I'm Brian Q. I went and saw Night Swim, and it was... So I have this thing. I'm very critical of a movie right after I see it. That's like when I'm at my most critical. That drive home from the movie theater is usually just me nitpicking everything that I didn't like about the movie. And then I give it a couple days and I warm up to some of the other elements of the movie. I start letting go of my criticisms and I embrace, because ultimately I'm not in it to hate a movie. Like, I go into every movie wanting to enjoy myself one way or another. Night Swim, I walked out feeling like it was very mediocre. And then something weird happened as the days went on. I saw it about a week ago. Every day I had new problems with it. It's like I kept thinking about it. And it's almost like I didn't have enough positives for my brain to grab onto and like make the best out of the situation. So then my brain just has to grab onto the negatives. I guess. I don't know. But I want to walk through the movie. So this is going to be like a full spoiler talk, review, criticism. And I want to talk about all of my problems with the writing, the story, the choices. I don't have anything bad to say about the movie visually. I think it's perfectly acceptable. Although there's some times where it uses some sort of After Effects, like light ray effects that definitely were being used on TV shows in the mid-2000s. So there was some occasional little technical things that shocked me. But other than that, I really... and even the acting, there's not bad acting, but there's definitely bad direction being given to the actors. There's really bizarre... When characters should be wailing with emotion, they have nothing. And vice versa. There's just very strange choices being made. But let's get into it. First of all, the title, Night Swim, would imply that there is something unique, special about the pool at night. And I think the trailers, I'm trying to remember, because I watched the trailer when I got home. Really good trailer. It reminded me why I was excited to see the movie in the first place. The trailer is 1,000 times more interesting than the movie itself. But obviously you see a lot of creepy, nighttime, spooky pool situations playing out. So it makes you think, like, with a lot of horror movies, or like with Freddy Krueger, you're safe in you're safe in the day, or you're safe if you're awake. There's rules, and I think we'll keep coming back to the rules, or the lack thereof, or the shifting sands that are beneath your feet that are the rules in this movie that make for a pretty unenjoyable experience. But this pool does spooky stuff day or night. There's, I think, 3 daytime, menacing, spooky events that happen in the day. So the title already kind of upsets me that they didn't, I don't know what you would have called it, the pool that kills, kill pool. But Night Swim makes no sense to me. And this is also... This is like a minor nitpick, ultimately, because now it's just a piling on of my bigger issues, but then when I look back on it, I'm like, why would you call it Night Swim? because this stuff can happen anytime. It's like if The Grudge was called Night Grudge, and then stuff just happens during the day anyway. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Does that make sense? Or is that overly critical? I don't think it's overly critical. Because also, this is something that has never really happened to me before, and I guess maybe speaks to a deeper flaw in my character, but I've never been angry. So I got home, and I looked on IMDb because I wanted to see what some of these actors had been in. And there were pictures on IMDb of the premiere of Night Swim, like the Hollywood premiere. They're walking the red carpet. And the writer-director of this movie was on the red carpet. And he was wearing a flashy cowboy suit. And he just looked so smug. He just looked like a pig in shit. And I got mad that someone would be seemingly... Because he's seen this movie. Like, I get, maybe the actors are walking that red carpet and they haven't seen the movie yet. And they're going to be real disappointed. They're going to have that fake smile plastered on their face the whole time. But this guy has seen the movie. He wrote it. I'm sure he was in the editing room with the editor. He has seen this movie. And even after seeing the movie I saw, this guy's walking the red carpet like, yeah, I made this movie. It's, I'm pretty great. I've never faulted, like, I've never been angry that a bad filmmaker is proud of the thing that he made. And, like, on paper, I should want him to be proud of the thing that he made, even if it was a failure. But there's something about this movie, and there was something about just the smug that I could just see in these pictures. And this might just be me, like, totally reading stuff in that's not there. Whatever. I've never watched an interview with the guy. But I just got, like, how dare you be proud of this movie? And that's a really negative emotion and a negative place to be. I don't recommend anybody wants to feel the way that I'm feeling about this movie. Anyway, again, full spoilers. We're going into it. The main character, I forget his name, but it's Wyatt Russell. It's Kurt Russell's son, which I do have to say, Wyatt Russell has the Kurt Russell charm. I've seen him in a couple things. He's definitely got the Kurt Russell charm. I don't think he has the Kurt Russell dramatic acting chops. I think he is very talented. And he's very charming. But there's something about him I don't buy in serious roles. I think I want him to be a comedic actor, because I think he's a very fun, cool, funny guy. I think he might just be much better. I think he might be kind of a John C. Reilly. And I mean, I love John C. Reilly in dramatic stuff. But it's obvious, like, when you see him in a comedy, you're like, oh, this is what he was put on this earth to do. He's so good. And I think Wyatt Russell might be one of those guys. I think he might be put on this earth to do comedy. But I don't know. But he's a ex-pro baseball player in the movie, and he's more or less retired because he has been diagnosed with MS, and he's, managing his health and declining. It's getting worse, as it does. And they're looking for a house. They're looking to settle down, and they find this old house. It's very dated, but it's a very big, nice, beautiful home with a big pool in the back. And it's like, oh, I have to do light, physical therapy every day, so having a pool will be awesome. So they get the place, and they start... Spooky stuff starts happening with the pool. Oh, and that's the other thing. It turns out the pool is fed by like spring water. It's and I don't know if that's even a real thing. In the movie, the pool guy's like, I never even seen nothing like this before. I read about this in the newspaper once or twice. It's not how the guy talks at all, but so it's being fed by the springs underneath, the area. And so that gives that at least, again, there's pieces here that you could have done something really good with. There's pieces of good storytelling that just don't connect and don't work out. But so he starts using the pool, and what happens is he starts getting better really fast. Like he's making like a remarkable improvement. And I thought, and I'll at least give the writer director credit for not having Vincent D'Onofrio show up on a laptop as some sort of lore expert to explain the lore of the pool. At least they didn't do that, but they also didn't explain it at all. And I think they were trying to imply things visually, but they did such a poor job that, again, maybe it's just my failing, but I kept coming to the, I kept going for a logical conclusion to what they were showing me, and then it was not that. Because the way I was reading it was the pool, the spring water coming up into the pool, just has healing properties. That's how I read it. I read it like it's the pool in Cocoon. Remember Cocoon? Where it's just like anybody that goes in this pool with these big eggs is getting healed because it's like there's a life force in the water that they're absorbing. That's how I read it. That's not what it was. It was only healing Wyatt Russell. And there's a reason for that, and it's also something that I didn't get, because early on when they're checking the house out, and he's walking with a cane, he's not, physically he's weak. The MS is, advancing, and he falls in the pool, and he's wrapped up in like the tarp gets wrapped around him, and he's sinking, and he starts thinking about baseball because he's an ex-baseball player, and he has this moment where it's like he's thinking about hitting that home run, and it was implying like he's summoning the strength to save himself, to swim up to the surface and get out of the pool. There's more going on there than just him sucking it up and summoning the strength. But I want to talk about it when we get to the end, because there's something that's revealed about what the pool is towards the end that ties into that moment. But that moment links him to the pool, and that's not really explained. There's a part he had a bad cut on his hand, and he like unwraps it, and it's totally gone in like a day or two. I just assumed that's showing the general healing properties of the pool. No, it was supposed to be showing that he is being healed. There's something special with him, but it doesn't make that clear. So there's ghosts in the pool. Wait, yes. So there's ghosts in the pool. Everybody basically starts seeing things in the pool. The daughter has a very spooky encounter where the ghost, that one's in the trailer. That's like her playing Marco Polo, and a ghost shows up and pulls her under. The little son, has a spooky ghost encounter with this is another problem. There's a good ghost in the pool named Rebecca. Name of Rebecca, sweet little gal, and she appears in like the water drain, or the filter, like that little wave filter that catches bugs and stuff on the side of the pool. She starts talking to the little kid through that. She's like, "My name's Rebecca. I'm looking for my mom." And he had an action figure floating in the pool, and he goes, and she goes. The action figure, you can see it floating in the little filter, and she goes, "I found your toy." It's like they pitch the audio down like it's scary. What would you assume that means? I would assume, and I did assume, that was the evil in the pool pretending to be the little girl. Because why would you pitch it down like that? Why would you make it scary? And then there's like a zombie hand comes out and grabs him. So in that moment, I'm like, well, okay, fine. That wasn't Rebecca. That was that was an evil spirit. Because we in the opening of the movie, we saw Rebecca fall into the pool and get taken. That's like establishing the threat that is the pool. We know people will fall. We know the pool will entice them to come into the pool, and then it will take them. That's another big problem I have, though, too. Well, the point is I just thought, okay, it's the evil in the pool using the little girl's voice. Fine. Turns out at the end of the movie, that's not what it was. It was the good ghost. It was Rebecca. So what does that mean? So was it still a bad ghost using Rebecca's voice, or was it Rebecca for real, but then the bad ghost took over? Because it wouldn't have been Rebecca grabbing him, because she doesn't have like a slimy zombie hand. Doesn't make sense, does it? Another problem I have is because eventually the mom starts researching the pool. I mean, I would probably Google my address or whatever when I'm buying a new house. But she finds out that there's a lot of tragedy in the pool's past. And specifically, she finds out about this because the kid's like tells her mom that there was like a girl in the pool. And she said her name was Rebecca. So she starts finding things out, and she asks the realtor, like, did something bad happen in the pool or something like that? And the realtor's like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you. Oh, by the way, this movie's set in Minnesota, so there's some really what I would consider harmful stereotypes of Minnesotans. The school is like the Fighting Trout or something like that, something embarrassing. Like somebody obviously just quickly Googled Minnesota and was like, what kind of animal? We would not. There's probably some school out like up in the Iron Range that has like the Fighting Trout, and that's where they got it from. But little, it's like, we get it. We're flyover yokels. We get it. But she's like, oh yeah, a girl drowned in the pool, back in the 80s or whatever. Little girl drowned in the pool. That's what she says. But then I started thinking about it. The pool takes you. The pool doesn't leave your body. The pool doesn't kill you. The pool takes you. There are no bodies. So how is it in the news that a little girl drowned? Because there wouldn't have been a body. The story would have been a little girl disappears, right? That's logical. So, again, a nitpick that I may well have just accepted in a better movie, but these like core fundamental things that like anybody should have taken a second, and all you had to do is change the word. Like, you didn't even have to change like anything else. Just change drowned to disappeared. That's all you would have had to have done. Pretty simple. So there's that. There's the whole Rebecca thing, and there's more with Rebecca. And I honestly, this movie should be called Rebecca Deserves Better. Rebecca really gets shafted in this movie hard. But there's a pool party scene. It's actually the same scene where the mom starts finding out about Rebecca from the realtor. But there's also this whole thing with the dad using an old like Hi8 camcorder to film his workouts, and it's like he has tapes of like baseball games, from when he was in his prime that he's like playing on an old tube TV. But this camcorder is like a thing. They specifically reference it. He's like, what? Why are you filming your workouts or whatever? And one thing really bothers me is that the camcorder is like weirdly out of date. It's a 4:3 aspect ratio, and this is just something because I still deal with camcorders. I have this one right here. I noticed that it's like, okay, well, why would he be using? I get now it's a thing that he had from back in the day, but even like why would he have been using what I'm pretty sure is like an early 2000s. It would have to be a pretty early 2000s camcorder in 2008-ish. Somewhere in there would have been, I think, when he would have, in theory, been using it, like when he was in baseball. I don't know. It doesn't line up, but there's a part in the movie where the son, during this pool party, takes the camcorder upstairs and starts filming the pool party. And I thought, okay, well, that's here. Okay, this is why the camcorder's here in the movie. It's finally, like, fulfilling its purpose. It's becoming. He's going to film the pool party, and later that night, he's going to be, like, looking at the footage, and he's going to see something supernatural. He's going to see, like, Rebecca in the pool, or he's going to see one of the evil spirits in the pool. There's going to be something captured on that tape that, like, propels the mystery forward, that, or, you know, points them in the direction of, like, no, there's something in the pool. That doesn't happen. All that happens is he's filming the pool party, and he sees someone in the pool struggling. There's a situation unfolding there's an evil situation unfolding in the pool, and he just sees someone's hands, like someone trying to get to the surface. That's all it's for. We never look back at that tape. Nothing. There's nothing. That camcorder has nothing going on, except at the end of the movie, there's like a little recording of the dad saying something sweet, and that's it. I think that's kind of all it existed for. So it was peppered throughout the movie just to have that sweet moment of him saying something on tape at the end. Stupid. So we're at the point where we realize, okay, the dad is being corrupted by the evil in the pool. And it is, I think you could have done some. Okay, so the way, I guess there's not really a way to get to the end without saying the mom eventually goes and tracks down the Rebecca, the ghost, good ghost Rebecca's mother, and she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and she explains some of the lore of the pool, and it is that the pool grants wishes. That's right. The pool is a wishing well. That should have been called Wish Pool. Wish upon a pool. So we're not dealing with a pool that has healing properties. We're dealing with a wish-granting pool. But I should have said this earlier. Rebecca's brother, we see she's, because Rebecca in the opening scene, there's like a toy boat in the pool, and she goes into her little brother's room. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get you your toy boat that you love." And her brother's in like a hospital bed in the house with like medical monitors and stuff. So he's obviously sick, right? And when the mom goes and meets Rebecca's mom in the present, she's like, "Oh, my son, he works in Washington and he's very successful." And you realize that he got better. The pool made him better. So we have seen it heal a little boy, or now we know that it healed the sick little boy. We know it's healing Wyatt Russell, but it's not a healing pool. It is a pool that grants wishes. It is just purely by coincidence that we as the audience are being shown examples of how the pool grants wishes, and it's just by coincidence that they're just healing wishes. You didn't have to... Why did you make it a wish-granting pool if all you ever use the wishes for is for healing? You could have just said it heals you. It's like it's life force. And that would make sense because it requires sacrifice. And that's like a big theme of the movie, is like sacrifice. So there, you have to give a life to the pool for it to grant you your wish. But it corrupts you. It like infects you with black goop, and then it turns you evil, and then you feed it, another life. But apparently it still grants your wish. But it also, apparently that black pool goop is controlling you, or at least in you for the rest of your life. Because the old lady, Rebecca's mom, who, by the way, spoiler alert, she knew what the pool was doing, and she purposely sacrificed Rebecca to the pool. So not a cool mom. She still, even in the present day, she starts like barfing the black pool water. So the dad's like been corrupted. He tried to kill a kid at the pool party. I guess that's the spoiler alert. That's what the son noticed with the camcorder, is the dad was attempting to drown a kid in the pool. So not very smart. I feel like if you feed the pool someone in broad daylight with dozens of people around, like, we're gonna figure out that you're the problem. But in any case, the movie climaxes and they're feeding. The dad is like full corrupted by the pool, and he wants to sacrifice his son because his son is weak. And he's like, life is hard for him. So he's trying to sacrifice his son. The pool takes his son, but the mom goes in after, and it's like one of those things where like the pool becomes like infinitely deep. The mom goes in after him. She finds him, and this is one cool moment in the movie, but it also makes me mad. Because she's trying to find her way out, and then Rebecca, the good ghost, appears, and she holds out a coin. And there was earlier in the movie, there's a part where they're playing this game where they throw quarters into the pool, and they sink to the bottom, and the kids go and like dive down and pick them up. I don't know if that's a thing pool people do. A little weird to me. The mom carrying her son is trying to like find her way out. She's swimming. Rebecca's ghost appears, holds out her hand, opens it up. There's a quarter, and it goes up. And that's when the mom realizes she's gotten all turned around. The quarter is sinking. They're upside down. She realizes they're upside down. One, that's actually pretty clever. I don't hate that. But also when you're dealing with supernatural stuff, like I don't know the rules of gravity when you're dealing with an infinitely deep wish-granting ghost pool. But then also, the movie has already faked us out with Rebecca once, seemingly with this evil spirit masquerading as Rebecca, but I think that was supposed to really be Rebecca, but then another spirit just like shouldered in, like knocked her out of the way, like, get out of the way, I'm gonna grab this little guy. I don't know. So it was already, that scene showed us, okay, Rebecca is actually a good ghost. Got it. So then what happens next frustrates me even more, because they get out and I'm trying to think of exactly how it worked, because the dad, did they just beat him? I think the daughter just beats the dad until the black pool water barfs out of him, and they think they're good, but then the little boy starts barfing the black pool water, and the dad realizes, oh no, like the pool has to take a life, like the pool demands a sacrifice. So the dad goes into the pool and like he sacrifices himself into the pool for the son. And the family does not really even react to it. Like their dad that was just trying to kill them, that they knew was like corrupted, is uncorrupted. Like they recognize that they've got their dad back, and then he sacrifices himself into the pool, and they basically just sit there like, whoa, crazy day, huh? Like, they don't react to it, and I don't understand. There's things like that where it's just like, you're not bad actors. You're clearly just not being given the right direction. So then they fill the pool in. The family fills in the pool so that this can't happen again. All I could think was, hey, Rebecca really helped you out. And your dad and your husband, who you love very dearly, who was good when he sacrificed himself. He was not corrupted. He was freed of the black goop. Both of them are now trapped in the pool, right? And you're not trying to free them? A good movie would have freed Rebecca's, at the very least. There would have been something in some rule, I don't know what it would be exactly, but a better movie would have, at minimum, even if you don't free all the spirits from the pool, which is what you should do. That's how this movie should have ended, is like a cleansing of the pool, and then you get a moment where you see Rebecca's spirit finding peace, kind of a thing. That would have been nice. But now your dad is also, his spirit is trapped in there for all eternity. And you're just like, yeah, we're filling in the pool. You know, we're moving on with our lives. Crazy weekend. That really upset me. She helped. It's not even that she's just that you know for a fact that there's multiple good ghosts in there. It's that one of them literally saved you. And you made the movie, and again, you know, what you could say is like, oh, the Night Swim 2 is, they're gonna, we got plans, and we're gonna, we're gonna bust the pool. The pool's gonna bust back wide open because we filled in the pool. The water's gonna come up somewhere else, or whatever. A better movie would have actually wrapped up, would have rewarded the good. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. I don't know how many different ways I need to say it, but it made me mad that they just turn their backs on the spirits of good people that they know are trapped in there forever. That really bugs me. That's bad storytelling. That's not an ending. And maybe they really did think that it was sequel. There was potential for sequel, and they didn't want to like cleanse the pool or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think right now if I missed any of my weird nitpicks. Well, this is an important thing. I guess ultimately this is what everything I've been talking about is, and that's a lack of a lack of lore. They briefly just say that there is a history. The pool has a dark history. They very quickly flash through like news articles and things that say, there have been tragedies surrounding the pool and even previous to the pool, like just the water in the area. So there's like a little bit of lore that's shown very quickly, but nothing definitive. But also, just the lack of rules drives me crazy. The fact that it can take you in the day or in the night. The fact that it can take you supernaturally, or it can use somebody as like a conduit to take you. And it wasn't clear either, like if it uses like a corrupted person to take you, like the kid during the pool party, it's not clear if he was just gonna literally kill the kid, or if like the pool was gonna swallow that kid up. I don't know. It's very unclear, and it very much felt like the pool could just do whatever it needed to do at any one moment because they weren't clever enough to like solidly establish rules and then work within those rules. It was just, okay, well now there's black goop in someone, and oh, they can't leave. And that's the other thing. When they try to leave, the dad gets sick. The dad starts barfing up the black goop, and like they can't leave the house. It's like if they try to leave, the pool will kill him. So they can't leave. But then the Rebecca's mother, who starts barfing up black goop when she starts revealing secrets of the pool, and obviously the pool doesn't want those secrets. Like, why was she allowed to leave? I mean, I guess she was allowed to leave because she gave the pool a sacrifice, but why wouldn't it just want to keep using you for more sacrifices? That part I don't get. Also, talking about wishes, this is one thing I didn't circle back to. When the dad falls into the water and he's thinking about baseball while he's about to drown, and he's summoning the strength to get back out of the pool, I didn't put this together until it's revealed that it's a wishing pool. But in that moment, him mentally summoning the strength to escape the pool, to not drown, the pool apparently viewed that as a wish. And that's what links him to the pool. In that moment, he was making a wish to be strong, like he used to be, back when he played baseball. Sorry. So that is the moment that linked him to the pool, and that I didn't understand. Also, the pool eats a cat. So I don't understand why the cat isn't counted as a sacrifice. If you as a wish pool are cool eating a cat, how come that isn't a sacrifice? I don't get it. And then there's a part right before he falls in that there's like a bug in the pool that the wife saves. So how come a cat is good enough to eat, but the bug isn't? Also, is the ghost of the cat in the pool too? I think so. Because there's a part where the cat appears to like tempt the son into the pool. So, but maybe that was, again, I'm left with the same question that when Rebecca appeared in the drain, was the cat appearing a ghost, an evil ghost masquerading as the cat? Or was it really the cat? We'll never know, because this movie was very sloppily written. It really lacked any sense of logic. And it honestly, because of that, deflates any actual threat. It's often very unintentionally funny. There's a part where the doctor is like, I've never seen such a dramatic, such a fast recovery from MS. You're like, your MS is just so good. It's off the, you're improving. It's like off the charts. Are you doing physical therapy? What's your favorite subject in school? Have you tried the lasagna? But no, she's like, oh, like you're doing the physical therapy? And he goes, twice a day. We have a pool. And he says it in the craziest way. And it's why I think Wyatt Russell would be a really funny comedic actor. But he says it and I burst out laughing. And it might not have helped. I've really discovered how much fun it is now that I used to be a guy who, when I went to the movie theater, I was very like, you get popcorn and an icy. And that is what you get at the movie theater. That is tradition. That is the experience. That is what you do. And when all these places started doing food in the movie theater and booze in the movie theater, I was like so against it. I have now changed my opinion on that. And I have been... Because also, the movie theater we go to, they do fun-themed cocktails and adult beverages. So now it's like that's become part of the experience. And I'm telling you that I had an ecto cooler when I went to this movie, which I didn't realize, but it is appropriate because it's spooky, it's supernatural, it's a ghost drink for a ghost movie. And it was vodka, watermelon liqueur, and Sprite. I highly recommend it. It was very good. It did actually kind of taste like High C Ecto Cooler. But holy cow, was it boozy. And by the time we hit the we have a pool point in the movie, I was feeling it. And I burst out laughing, and I kind of think the people in front of us were actually enjoying the movie. So I don't think they liked the fact that I was starting to just lose my shit at how stupid some of these moments were and how just laughably bad and unintentionally funny some of this stuff was. But yeah, there's stuff like that. In that moment, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm having fun. Now it's a so bad it's good movie. But the logic holes, other than the logic holes, the movie is just so mediocre. And that's not really fun. The only thing it has going for it, for me, that like elicit any kind of like emotion or thinking, keeps me thinking about the movie is just the complete lack of logic and rules in a way that is so completely unsatisfying, wrapped in this very mediocre shell, or wrapping paper shell. I don't know. So I guess that's really all I have to say about the movie. That I think it's enough. I don't think I really have to say any more. I'm never gonna... You know what? I mean, not never say never, but I'm not going to say don't see Night Swim. I think with a movie like this, I think everybody needs to experience it for themselves. I don't like the idea of like turning people away from a movie. This is just my experience with this movie. And like I said, it sure felt like other people in the theater were enjoying themselves. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's unredeemable. It just wasn't for me at all. It was not for my brain or my heart. Rebecca deserved much better than she got. It's really unfair. I hope in Night Swim 2, Electric Swimaloo, Electric Wishaloo, I don't know. Hopefully in Night Swim 2, Rebecca's spirit is given some peace, I was going to say closure, and then I switched to peace, and then I started saying closure. Hopefully Rebecca's spirit gets closure. That's all we can hope for. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll wrap things up. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you've made it this far in the video, it would shock me that you wouldn't want to hit that subscribe button to find out how disappointed I am in the next movie I go see. Hopefully I'm not. Hopefully I've had a good streak with movies in the theaters lately. This is kind of the first one that really stunk it up for me. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.